October 1448, and we already got back all of our cores, destroyed the Ottomans, while still managing to keep 16,000 manpower, 246 ducats, and no loans on the first attempt by using my RNG-proof strategy of defeating the Ottomans as Byzantium. Shout out to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. More on that a little bit later on. And guys, if we get 5,000 likes on this video, I'm gonna continue the campaign, and I want to take this all the way to 1836, as this is gonna be the last time I'm playing Byzantium, with the arrival of Europa Universalis 5 around the corner next year. Guys, pay close attention to these very important first steps, because some things have changed in the 1.37 Europa Universalis 4 patch. Paradox for some reason decided that Byzantium is too easy, so they've made it a little bit more difficult now compared to previous patches. We still have the initial horrible privileges, such as the Union of the Churches, deteriorating army, which means we start with the minus 15% morale of armies, but we're actually going to make these privileges work for us, because exemption from Latin merchants makes mercenaries 25% cheaper. Now, mix that in with the Union of the Churches, which, after we do Impending Doom, if we have an alliance with the Pope, is going to give another 15% mercenary cost reduction for 15 years. It means that our mercenaries are going to be 40% cheaper, and we can make them another 10% cheaper from quickly doing Defense in Depth mission. Now, the only privileges we'll be giving out are the monthly admin power +1, military power +1. We're not giving the Diplo because we want to instead get the sale of titles for 161 ducats, seize crownlands afterwards, some of the diet, and we're also giving increased levies for the extra manpower. Euhonius officer rights. Getting this decision enacted means we have a chance of getting a 3 pips siege general if we alt F4 enough times. Seeing as we're really desperate as the Byzantines, we're also going to give out Emporoi draft force, which allows us to get via decisions 1 early Karak 50% the time, so it's going to be built in time for the war with the Ottomans, and it's going to be free. We just need to get 40 influence with the Trading League or Emporoi. We're also giving supremacy over the crown to try and bring the loyalty equilibrium above 50% for our states, and for that matter, we're going to be giving out religious diplomats, clerical ministers, and clerical advisory council, but we're going to give this one out after we get 100 admins, since we really want to push for 1 stability, and giving clerical advisory council before that means we increase the price of getting that stability by 10%. We're going to give one more privilege, namely patronage of the arts, but we're going to do that in a few moments. First, what we need to do is use up the starting prestige to get good relations with the Pope, because remember, we got to get that alliance with them. We're going to be sending a cheeky, scornful insult, which increases our relations with the Pope by 25, getting us way closer to getting the alliance with them. All we need to do now is just recruit a few more units, and then we should be okay. Same thing here, because we want to ally the Serbs. We are very close to that. We just need to scornfully insult one of their rivals. In that case, it's going to be the Wallachians. I love you, Wallachia, but it's got to be done, since we really need the Serbs on our side. Remember, so we get the 250 ducats from the Serbs. It is a little bit RNG, so keep that in mind. We pretty much got the worst case scenario for a Byzantine start, because the Albanians don't want to ally us, since we allied their rivals, the Serbs, and the Teutons also. So we'll try and get relations with both of these nations and ally them. However, if that doesn't work, we will just 1v1 the Ottomans, and we're going to be sending our units to Corinth. Now, of course, we'll be recruiting the Free Company, and we also have the unique Palace Guards. Now, these units are only available to the Byzantines, and they cost no force limit to maintain. Now, seeing as we have below 0 prestige, we actually get 20 prestige from the patronage of the arts, and we're going to use a little bit of that to scornfully insult the Karamanids, which we made our rivals. We do that because it gives us 10 power projection, and power projection also increases our morale of armies a little bit, up to 10%. There you go, boys. I was exactly spot on. 49-42, meaning we can ally the Pope. We now get the 15% mercenary cost reduction for 15 years, which is exactly what we need, because after 15 years, we will have gotten rid of the privilege anyway. Alright, boys, first target is going to be the Epirate scum, and let's see what the gods of Shkibidi give us. Holy shit, that actually is a really good general. 1-star general still, but he does have 2 siege, 1 shock. He's not the worst, not the best, really. Come on. Let's also make our leader a general, because I wouldn't mind if he dies. In fact, even the heir doesn't mind much if he dies. They're pretty horrible, to be fair. And let's also check if there's any generals amongst the mercenary companies. Sometimes you can find some jewels amongst these mercenary companies, like the Morlock. The Morlock has 3 siege, 4 shock. That is huge. I'm gonna get some galleys, because we're gonna need as many galleys as we possibly can get our hands on in order to fight the Ottomans. Now, we might be able to use some other nations on the war against the Ottomans, namely the Trebizond, even Georgia. If we get our hands on Georgia, that would be optimal, because Georgia is going to make it a little bit more difficult for the Ottomans, and the Ottomans might focus on the Georgians, which have some seriously good forts, so it might delay the Ottomans from coming into our side, which is exactly what we want. That delay makes a difference between winning and losing in this game. Epirus has fallen. Depending on what we do with the Epirates, we get 2 different outcomes from the false despot mission. We can either get morale of armies and navies plus 5 and 10%, or we get a core in Cephalonia and more permanent claims on the southern tip of Italy as well as Sicily. Whilst the morale of armies would be really good for us right now, the claims are not bad, but more importantly, we can also retain the fleet that the Epirates have with this option, and by retaining said fleet, we might be able to even use the fleet in the war against the Ottomans afterwards. Plus, we can also give the strong duchies privilege, which gives 2 extra diplomatic relations and liberty, desire, and subjects reduction. Let's go false despots. We also got some diplo power, so that's not too bad overall. Courage development here, boom and boom, and now we can do the reinforced Constantinople mission. Also, I want to point out we have a little bit of devastation because the knights have been raiding us, and that prevents us from allying them now because we have minus 105 relations with them. Now, it does seem like we can get an alliance with the Georgians. Let's go for that. Let's also get the +1 stability, and let's see what the Serbs will do for us. I'm going to request that they give us 250 ducats. Now, to get this, you need at least 150 opinion. I'm saying this because previously in my old Byzantine video, people asked me how come they didn't get the ducats. You need at least 150 opinion and have them as ally attitude, which means ally them basically. Let's go ahead and ask. Hopefully they give us. Again, it's RNG, end of the day. The game files tell me that 150 opinion and ally stance has like a 80% chance of getting the money from the Serbs. Now we're going to be recruiting some more mercenaries. The Hajduk and the Morlocks are really good options. That should be enough for the initial phase. We might need to recruit more and replace mercenaries as they get grinded down by the Ottoman army though. And would you look at that, we got the 250 ducats from the Serbs. We allied Trebizond, which apparently is the only nation that's willing to help us in this war, and make sure you set a reconquest CB, not a conquest CB. Don't get baited for that, because that's a lot more aggressive expansion. We don't want that to happen. We're gonna make Tirhala as the war target, as it is the easiest province for us to conquer. Rush for Tirhala, rush for Selanik, and wait for the Ottomans to attack us basically. We're gonna play it a little bit on the defense. As long as we keep our units close together, it's less likely that the Ottomans are actually gonna push in until they have a bigger blob. So the tactic is to just keep your units as tied up as you possibly can, take the fort in Selanik, and wait for your fleet to get the other ships recruited. Right now we are outnumbered by the Ottomans. We're gonna allow other units to attach to us, and hopefully the Athenians will attach their fleet to us, as well as maybe the Epirates once they become loyal. Actually, are they loyal? They are loyal. Oh, that is actually really nice, boys. So let's make sure they have attach as their interaction. And actually, with the Epirates and the Athenians, we are one-on-one with the Ottoman fleet. I'm also gonna get the land force limit modifier advisor. I don't have any morale of armies or discipline advisor. That would have been perfect actually. But again, RNG giveth, RNG taketh. We're gonna get the morale advisor later in order to do the decision that would allow us to get rid of the army debuff privilege here that gives minus 15 morale of army. I've also hired an admiral, and I'm gonna send my ships over to the Aegean Sea. Hopefully the Ottomans don't sally out until my troops all merge together, which I think is gonna happen in a few moments. There you go, we got everybody in the same sea tile. So that's awesome, because now we should be able to take the fort in Selanik a little bit faster, and we got the war target. Now let's merge all of our units in Selanik, because the Ottomans have started crossing over here. Their main army is sieging down Constantinople. They have 30,000, so that means there's 7,000 unaccounted for, which also means that we actually can stack wipe this army. If they come over to Tirhala, we're gonna bring our units from the north into Tirhala and flat out stack wipe them. And that freaking broke it. Oh my god, this is actually freaking insane RNG. Please please fall. Before we continue, let's talk about today's sponsor, War Thunder, the most comprehensive vehicle combat game available for free on PC, console, and mobile, with over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from 10 major nations. You'll experience everything from World War II tanks to modern fighter jets. Join over 70 million players in epic PvP combat with realistic vehicles, stunning graphics, and 3 game modes: arcade, realistic, and simulator. War Thunder's advanced damage model and X-ray view show how enemy fire impacts vehicle components and cause destruction. Don't miss out. Download War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile through the links in the pinned comment or the video description. New or returning players get a massive bonus pack, including premium vehicles, the Eagle of Valor vehicle decorator, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account available for a limited time only. Word has reached Ioannis VIII and the citizens of Constantinople. The Sultan Mehmed II Fatih has begun his march on the city. Yeah, no schnapps, bro. He's already here. I'm gonna get the morale of armies. I know the stability is really awesome, but the morale of armies is actually necessary for us right now. Our current morale of armies is at 6.7%. Oh, it is a trap, Otto bros. We gotta wait till they got movement lock. They got it. Let's push in here. Oh, I caught you good, Otto, bro. I caught you real good, buddy boy. All right, look at that morale difference. That is freaking huge, brother. But look, we also got 3.4 army tradition and some prestige. We're going to be pushing up our prestige, our army tradition, so that we will match their morale of armies, or at least get close to it. Giovanni Giustiniani, one of the more famous generals from the siege of Constantinople. He was a Genoese captain from the Genoese garrison in Constantinople, which helped the Byzantines alongside the few hundred Genoese soldiers that fought in the defense against the Ottomans. In the game, he's portrayed as a 2230 general, and he gives us a bit of manpower too, which is actually duly needed. Giovanni is apparently an 18-year-old, but in reality, he was 35 at the time of the siege. He passed away on the 1st of June from wounds inflicted in battle on the 29th of May, and most of the 700 Genoese soldiers also perished in the siege of Constantinople. Their sacrifice has gone down in history as one of the greatest calls to aid. It's honestly where Tolkien probably got his whole Gondor calls for aid, will Rohan answer moment from. I'm just guessing. It's probably not, but I like to think it is. Okay, this is huge because we really need some patriarchal authority. Admin power is great, but patriarchal authority is really important. If we manage to get 10 patriarchal authority, that means just 6 more, then we're going to be able to do one mission that allows us to get double the bonuses from the icon. So that means we would get discipline plus 10%, which would be actually insane in fighting against the Ottomans. They are basically drained of manpower now and only have 27,000 units, so that's perfect. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I'm smiling when I'm playing as Byzantium because I haven't really played EU4 in like a few months properly, and this has been by far my most favorite campaign so far since I came back to EU4. There you go, 193 days. That is god tier RNG, and it's also why I actually plan to do this campaign all the way to 1836. This is going to be the last time I play EU4 Byzantium, so I really want to make this into a special campaign. Of course, the save game is going to be available to all of you guys for free on Discord, and I'm going to split this in 5 parts, keep the videos a little bit longer so you get a better understanding of my thought process and what exactly is happening in my particular game. And in case you want to follow along, you can do that, of course. Reality, guys, is that EU5 is around the corner. It really is, and it's likely going to get released end of 2025 or beginning of 2026, depending on when they flesh out some bugs. So I don't expect to come back to EU4 Byzantium, which is why I'm trying to make the most out of this campaign. I love this nation and I love this game. The Trebizonds actually managed to bait some of the Ottoman troops. That is perfect. That means half of the Ottomans are over there fighting, so we can take that time and wipe out the rest of the Ottomans here. 10 patriarchal authority. We can get the discipline. This is literally a blessed run. Come on, guys. Oh my god. So we now have 10% discipline for our troops. The problem is I forgot to give the religious culture privilege, so I kind of lost 5 crown right there. 5% crownlets. It's fine. Mistakes are made. It's fine. I just got a little bit too excited, to be fair. All right, let's see our ticks here. So we got 7-5. I'm taking a good look, making sure that nobody's coming over from the Kocheli side, and I'm gonna sally out with my garrison as well. We got a 2. Come on, give me something better than a 2. Please. They got a 0 at the end. I saw it. I freaking saw the 0. Sallying out with that garrison literally saved the day for us. Now let's try and take Gelibolu. We're gonna bring all of our ships here. Every one of our vassals is attached to us, so we technically have enough ships to hold off the Ottomans. And in a few months, we're also gonna get the galleys done. Hey, Western support. I love to see that. See, this is why I did not revoke Union of the Churches. Early in the first few years, Union of the Churches is actually really, really good. Now, whilst the Ottomans are regrouping in the east, I'm gonna take this time and I'm gonna be carpet sieging all of the Balkans. Shout out to Trebizond. Look at this. It forced the Ottomans to bring 11,000 of their troops. Ottomans are just extremely broken in this game, and unless you defeat them as the Byzantines in the first few years, it's pretty much impossible afterwards. And hey, Western support gives us some ducats. I'll take that, thank you very much. If you're wondering why I'm keeping all my mercs in this tile and I'm not trying to take a Deern, it's because if I do move any units from here, the balance of power is going to be scaled on the side of the Ottomans, and they're going to push with those 9,000 units they got there. If we pay 150 military power, we get siege ability plus 10% for 10 years. Yes, thank you very much. And we also started getting a spy network in the Ottomans to help us with the siege ability, as well as we're going to improve with the Venetians, so we get that 50 relations required with either Venice or Genoa. Look at that. We also managed to crack the walls, and we're up to 21%. Come on, we really need to take Gelibolu. Please fall Gelibolu. Come on, 57%. You freaking have to fall, you Schnappledorp. There you go. They did recruit some extra soldiers, so I have to be extremely careful now. As long as we hold on to the Sea of Marmara, we should be fine when it comes down to the war score. Now, considering how well the war's been going, I'm going to be deleting the fort in Moria. I don't think that the Ottomans are going to end up coming into the Balkan side. I hope not, anyway. And that fort has been just a drain on my economy. I should have deleted that fort from day one. Come on, we have to win this. It is absolutely imperative. Oh, okay, fine. We won, boys. Let's actually bring the Chadicus 3 Siegicus general here first, so we can quickly take a Deern, their capital, by the way. Previously known as the city of Adrianopolis, it was one of the earliest big cities occupied by the Ottomans after the earthquake destroyed the castles in Gallipoli, which allowed the Ottomans to move into the Balkan side of the Byzantine Empire. All right, we got the siege of Edirne done, so now we got quite a bit of war score. Just realized we should have liberated Bulgaria. I forgot to liberate Bulgaria before the war. I did that in my previous Byzantine video. I don't know why I forgot this time. Oh, right, because I didn't get the galley yet. That was why. They are almost winning against 3 times the army size. That is crazy to see. That is insane how overpowered the Ottomans are, honestly. Now, if we take Kocaeli, we should have the war score we need, actually. Because by the time we take Kocaeli, we should get the 17% war score more from having taken Tirhala, or at least 10% more or so. I am basically always keeping an eye on the units that are sieging down Trebizond. As long as they stay there, we should be fine. We should be able to hold off any other units the Ottomans might have around here. Hey, even more Western support from the Union of the Churches. I'm loving it. And by sieging down Hudavendigar, we're able to crush what's left of the Ottomans that were the Ottoman fleet that was hiding in Hudavendigar. Also going to use this army to siege down whatever other provinces I can around here. Actually, let's go for Kütahya next, since it's not in the zone of control of any forts. Oh, this is just unfortunate. I cannot go for the armor professionalism. That would increase the maintenance mercenaries by way too much, so I'm going to have to lose the prestige here, unfortunately. Hey, we got the last jousting tournament. Let's go. Oh, that is so freaking glorious. And we also got all of our ships, so we can basically not need to worry about any sort of naval engagement with the Ottomans from now on. Please fall at 42%. Please. Oh, come on. Why do you have to keep going to 56? What is wrong with you freaking sieges, bro? All right, that did fall at 57% though, so there's that. And they are recruiting the Free Company, which is arriving in Hudavendigar on the 1st of April. So let's time this properly, because we might be able to wipe out this army since it has no morale if we wait until they get movement lock. Come on, one day, come on. There you go. That should be fine. Hopefully they don't back up from that. Oh, they did back up. Well, screw you. I'm going to push into you then. Make sure we bring the rest of the troops just in case they do reinforce with the other 12,000. How many they got now? 36. They're going super high in force limit to be able to fight me. We did wipe out those troops. And that is the first loan we took, by the way. That is genuinely the first loan we took this entire playthrough. If we wipe out this army, though, then we pretty much are set. If we wipe out this army, we can enforce whatever we want. We would be close to 80 something percent, so they would give us the war deal that we want. Come on, give me some good dice rolls. We started with the 0. That is not a good dice roll. Not amazing, but we still won. Morale of armies plus 10% only affects mercenary regiments. Oh my god! Ottomans ceased paying tribute. So this is a tribute the Ottomans were paying to the Byzantines in exchange for the Byzantines holding on to Orhan Çelebi. The Sultan had an an agreement with the Byzantines where they would keep Orhan Çelebi in the capital as he was a pretender to the throne of the Ottoman Empire. Historically, Orhan Çelebi actually fought on the side of the Byzantines during the siege of Constantinople and perished in the siege itself. One of actually many Turkish soldiers and Turksmen basically fighting on the side of the Byzantines during that period, which goes to show that it wasn't necessarily a clear line of nationality and ethnicity back in the 1400s as there was later down in history, and it was more an issue of allegiances than anything else when it came to which nation you belong to. I'm not gonna actually betray Orhan. I'm gonna keep him in Constantinople just for the symbolic reason that he was a Chad and he fought on the side of the Byzantines. Now we could have waited until Sugla is finished sieging, but I'm not gonna do that. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I am going to do my peace deal. I'm gonna take everything that's on the coastline here, as well as much money as I possibly can take. I'm actually close to 100%. It's not so bad. Coalition is only the Ottomans and Karaman, as you would expect, and with this particular amount of money, we're gonna be able to start the war again. How are we gonna do that? Well, you'll see in a few seconds here. Now, before we do anything else, we can do a few missions here, including reverse the downfall, which is gonna give flames on the Balkans, ducats, manpower, and we get the event reverse, or better yet, recovery of Greece, which gives monthly war exhaustion reduction, a diplomatic reputation, and 25 power projection. And I'm also gonna make this safe here. As you guys can see, there's no cheeses, nothing of the sorts. It's an Iron Man game, of course, and if you want to continue this, you can obviously continue it yourself from 1448. Again, save will be on Discord if you're interested. I will be making some more save games available as bookmarks as I progress in the campaign, but I'll put those on my Patreon just to give a little bit of incentive for people to want to become a patron. It really would help out the channel massively. It is basically my main source of income because, you know, YouTube ads revenue is extremely bad in the past year or so. So I really want to take this opportunity to also give a big shout out to all my patrons and channel members, and as a reward, I'm going to be naming from now on all my generals my patrons. Let's pay off those 2 loans we got, and there you go. 4 forts that we got for maintenance. We're going to be deleting these forts, but not just yet. Now, I know what some of you thinking, Ludi, why didn't you just do the cheese where you let them keep Macedonia and Adrianopolis so they have their capital in the Balkans, and then you can attack them and easily take Adrianopolis and just have a super easy war? I could have done that, but where's the fun in that? Again, this is my last Byzantine run. I want to actually have fun and a little bit of an extra challenge when I'm playing this. We can release Bulgaria and the province of Mesambria, and then we can just flat out don't give a shit about AE and just attack the Ottomans, breaking the truce, getting the 5 stability hit, and getting a bit of a coalition started, but in exchange also getting all of the Balkans now. If I was going to go for this option, I would have kept Adrianopolis because that would have made it super easy for me though. Now we can do repair of the army right now. Actually, we just need a level 2 advisor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hire temporarily Pietro Asan, which is enough. There you go. Repair the army, got rid of the horrible privilege. We are going to be on par with the Ottomans. Once they increase their land maintenance, it should be roughly around the same amount. We also can now make the Ottomans a rival. I left the 3rd slot open just because I knew that I'd be able to make them a rival afterwards, and because they lost a lot of land, they will be disbanding some of their soldiers. There you go. They already went down to 18, 17, 16. We also got the renaming of Nicomedia to Optimatoi. That is so cool. All right, let's go. Almost ready, just gotta wait for a few more days here. And we also need to plan a couple more wars. We're gonna be attacking the Venetians, of course, to get all of the islands from them, as well as we want to attack Karaman. Now, seeing as Karaman is actually getting their asses handed by Ramazan for some reason, I'm gonna do a cheesy thing. I'm gonna use the Humiliate Rival War CB against them, just so I get 100 of each mana points, and so I do my age ability of humiliating a rival at the same time. We also got the claim on Ragusa. Let's go ahead and attack them. We're gonna rush for their capital in Mentese and just try and get the war score as soon as possible. Hey, Orhan Çelebi comes to the aid, boys. We get 2,000 manpower from Chadikas Orhanikas. Now let's see what a battle against the Ottoman looks like when we actually don't have those initial debuffs, right? There you go. That is going to be a clear win against the Ottobroskis. Now, this is the issue with keeping the union of the churches. We're going to get a lot of rebels like these until we get rid of the privilege. So in order to get rid of it, we have to have 5 temples nobles and loyalty for the clericoi above 60. I did notice though that Ragusa is at war with Venice. That means the Venetians might help me get an easy war against the Papal States and peace out the Papal States ASAP. Alright, we got the siege of Karaman. Let's go with the show of strength. Let's see how close we are to piecing out the Ottomans too. Actually, not too bad. You know what? I'll do that. 57. We have 7 years before we attack them again. That's fine with me. That should give us enough time to fix our economical situation and also expand a little bit more in the Balkans. And it also looks like we are the first to go for military Tech 4, so this is genuinely a blessed run. A clear, beautiful kiss to this amazing Byzantine nation that I've had so many great memories playing as them in the past 10 years plus. But I just realized I did not give expansion a zealotry. What the hell is wrong with me? Why did I not give that? I've been making my life so much harder. Holy snap. It really shows that I haven't played EU4 in quite some time now. But I'm really enjoying getting back into it though. I'm curious if the Venetians are sieging down. They are sieging down the Pope. Our High Duke mercenary company is actually running out of juice right now. Actually, most of them are running out of juice. So we might have to start switching over to the regular troops and deleting some of the mercenary units. To be fair though, mercenaries are still super cheap for us. So maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I'm just going to get more mercenaries. Bye bye, High Dukes. I love you. So thanks to our friends in Venice for sieging down the Papal States, and to our fleets blockading the Papal States on both sides. We got enough pool to make the Pope decide that they want to give up, and we also can now do something very cheap. Being in a defensive war means we do not need to worry about fighting the allies of the Venetians. There you go, we took leadership, and also we're now allied to the Pope again. And we got anti-unionist revolts, of course we do. I also kept Ragusa as a subject here because Ragusa actually has 7% of the trade node here. Considering it is a one province smiter, it's not too bad. So they're a decent trade vassal early in the campaign until we need to actually integrate them. I was like 50-50 on should I annex them, should I keep them as a vassal, but then I realized that if I was to attack afterwards the Venetians in a separate war, I'd have to fight all of these OPMs that I'm not in the mood to fight right now. I love how this particular war, the brunt of the war is being taken on by the Papal States, who surprisingly did not peace out yet. Like, how did they not yet peace out, bro? Also, I think I'm gonna be taking the Teutonic Knights out because they are a little bit of a pain in my ass, and I'm not sure, but I might be getting a mission done by grabbing all of the Aegean islands too. Hey, we got Rhodes. Nice. Let's see if we can piece them out. We can! Oh, snaps. That's awesome. So we do that as a separate piece because that means these units are gonna become separatists now. So hopefully they're gonna be fighting the Venetians, and that's just 5,000 units I have to worry less about. There you go. We got Treviso. Kind of do want Spalato and Zara also in this war since it is a defensive war, so it's less aggressive expansion, which is why I'm gonna hold on a little bit longer, and I'm gonna maybe take the fort in Brescia before I piece them out. Hey, admin tech 4 finally. Oh, this is so good. So that means we can now start building those churches. We just need money for them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna take the indebted to the Burgers Guild because I don't have any slots for that. Oh no. I gotta take Albania since that gives me access to Serbia, Bosnia, and so on afterwards. And we've managed to take Brescia. Orthodox defectors give us a core. Probably should cut out that bit because that's gonna get me demonetized just for saying the first part of that word on freaking YouTube. We can get all the provinces the Venetians have in the Balkans now, including a little bit of extra moolah on the side. Coalition wise, it is really just the Venetian, so we don't need to give a single schnapps about it. And we can do another mission apparently, the Peloponnese Renaissance, 30 development in own provinces within the area of Mare. Oh, we get 90 support for Renaissance in the entirety state of Mare. That is huge. After I finish lowering the devastation in Corfu, I'm gonna delete the fortification here. I really don't need this, but having a fort lowers devastation 10 times faster, which is why I'm keeping it temporarily until that's done. I'm starting to get really big issues here with the Unionist rebels, so I think I'm gonna take some actual loans and build those churches. It is really vital that we do that. Sadly, these are 4% loans, so they're very painful. Let's go ahead and get 1, 2, 3. We need one more, and the last church. There you go. That should be 5 churches now. I'm gonna give the Eugenes integration policy so that I don't take the Diplostab hit when I annex my vassals, because I am gonna of course be annexing Athens in a month since we have the cores on here. That means we only have 3 subjects left. Also, seeing as we are at peace for the first time since the start of the campaign, we should also lower the the autonomy in our provinces. Another day, another war against Otto bros. We're gonna make Sofia a war target. We're gonna feed our little vassal in Bulgaria all the cores, as well as we'll call in Georgia. Why not? We can use them as our punching bag. Akoyunlu's not joining, but I'm gonna co-belligerate Karakoyunlu though, which essentially means we're gonna be fighting the entirety of Anatolia here, more or less, with the exception of Karaman and Ramazan that have been reduced to OPMs. So this should be really fun. Hey there, buddy. What you doing over there, little Otto broski? You got your whole army trapped in the province of Tulcha? Aw, who's a little good boy? It's not you. You're freaking horrible. You're gonna get punished, you scumbag. Die, ya freaking Schnitzeldorf. Die right now, I say. Oh my god, more unionists. Okay, I'm gonna cancel that freaking privilege next. Actually, I can cancel the privilege right now, right? Yep, and the union of the churches. Bye-bye, favoritism for Latin scum. And that's actually the end of the Ottoman army. GG's Ottoman, you had a good one, but it's over. I'm the captain now, eh? Looks like our beloved leader has passed away, and we don't have one stability anymore. That's kind of unfortunate. Couple that up with the fact that we're getting rebels on top of rebels, and it's starting to look bad. It's starting to look like the good old Roman Empire. It's just classic Roman Empire right now. Okay, now see this? The Morlocks have 0 units and 115 men in reserve. The Morlocks are not useful anymore. In fact, a lot of these mercenaries are not useful anymore. I'm gonna disband them, and I'm gonna get some actual units. I'm talking real humans here, regular infantry for the first time in hundreds of years, and maybe even get some more mercenaries. Actually, we probably could use the Grand Company. Oh, I was right. Georgia is the punching bag of the Ottoman Alliance. But you know what? They're actually doing pretty good here. We might be able to even peace out Gazi Comuns if they don't get their asses handed to them by the Ottomans. Yeah, no, that's it's GG's for the Georgians. Hey, we can integrate Galata now, which is going to give us 3 base tax and 1 base production in Constantinople. We got our very first reform. We can do a reform the Pronoia system, which allows us to create client states and increases the amount of Pronoias by 2. Now, you might be wondering, Ludi, what is a Pronoia? So a Pronoia is a unique type of subject only the Byzantines have. We can land a Pronoia, for example, in Bulgaria. What this does is a few things. First off, Pronoiars cost no Diplo slots, and they have some massive bonuses illustrated over here. Plus, a Pronoiar can be integrated or incorporated, better yet, when the leader dies. We'll get into that a little bit more after, and probably in the second part of the campaign, when I'm going to basically be abusing the schnapps out of this. I mean, we can do this now. We can make the Bulgarians a Pronoiar, and we can retract the right to inheritance, which in turn means that we will be integrating Bulgaria whenever the leader of their country dies. And holy shit, they got a 646. That is crazy. This was the final battle for the conquest of Anatolia. Now we have to turn our eyes and wipe out the rebels, because we do have a ton of rebels, unfortunately, and that might be the end of us if we don't play our cards right. Let's see how much they got. They got 50% towards enforcing. We really got to get rid of the rebels now. Also, I am going to be fully annexing Dulkadir. I could go for the whole, oh, feed back the cores, blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, I just want to wipe out all of Dulkadir so I have a border afterwards with the Mamelukes, the Karakoyunlus, and everybody else here, because I will be munching into all of those rightful Roman lands. We will, of course, be concentrating development in these areas before we core them up. We're going to get a bit of a shorter truce here with Chandar, because we want to peace out the Ottomans. We don't want to have to fight the rebels of the Ottomans. We want to just reap the benefits here. There you go. That is the entirety of the Balkan possessions that the Ottomans have. Plus, we're also taking all the money that we possibly can take from them too, and we can do more missions as consequence. Reconquest of Bulgaria will make Bulgarians an accepted culture, and we also get a Chadic as general and a modifier for New Constantinople in Tarnovo. That should be over here. That is genuinely pretty fun. Once we lower the devastation, this is going to be truly a New Constantinople. Now, with that mission done, we get more claims on Moldova and Wallachia next, because we've basically been dodging between attacking Muslims, attacking Catholics, and now attacking Orthodox. We don't really have that much aggressive expansion. So we're going to be attacking Wallachia and Herzegovina, and then Bosnia, Serbia, and we're basically not going to have any actual coalition against us. So by the time that the truce is over with the Ottomans, we can attack them again, recycle again and again. In the meanwhile, I'm just going to be attacking... Oh, actually, I can attack the Ottomans ASAP because they're guaranteeing Ramazan. There you go, boys. Exactly my point. It is so easy to get rid of the Ottomans as the Byzantines early in the campaign. And we also instantly integrated Epirus because we had a core on Epirus on Cephalonia from the mission. We can do Triumph for Greece, so we ended up with 89 army tradition, hot diggity dong. So we've also been improving secret strictly relations with everyone in Europe, and I'm gonna get some alliances here, including an alliance with the French after they finish their war with the English, and an alliance with the Russians, the Muscovites. Now this also leads to the mission here: curb Russian autocephaly. Basically, diplo-annexing any Orthodox country will no longer incur diplo reputation penalty. That is freaking huge. Not to mention we get opinion with every Orthodox country, and we also get patriarchal authority and some bonuses for the privileges. It is just juicy. I love this mission tree. It's like so well thought out and so flavorful. We can quite easily make a diplo vassal out of Theodore and a few of the other nations around us, so we might as well use some of the other diplo slots to do that then. Hey, we can cancel reliance on the republics now since we have more than 8 home ports, so we only got to get rid of tax exemption from Latin merchants now. Oh, and check it out, the Ottomans have 5 units with 1,000 manpower. Oh, come on. Really, Ottos? You really not gonna join on the side of Ramazan? You actual scumbags. Looks like, Ottomans are not a trustworthy ally, guys. I knew it all along. 1 month has passed, so we can attack now, Wallachia with Herzegovina. And looks like Serbia is getting attacked? What? No, Hungary's attacking my ally Serbia. That is actually not good. They're actually attacking Bosnia and they're allied to Serbia. This is gonna be... Well, actually, no, it's not so bad because we have Matyas Hunyadi. That means that they're not going to become a junior partner of the Austrians. So that's going to make it easier for me to get a hold of Hungary. Don't really need all of Hungary. I just need the Pannonian parts of Hungary and all of the Balkan bits. Oh, boys, look at this. Oh, this is huge. We get the reformed Byzantine monarchy, tier 1 government reform, getting rid of the old Byzantine autocracy. Gives us years of separatism reduction, culture conversion cost reduction, autonomy change, absolutism. It is just amazing. We do a little bit of spring cleaning over here, boys. I really could just make the Wallachians a vassal, but I don't want to. I've got enough aggressive expansion points, so check it out. Literally nobody cares about me annexing all of Wallachia right now, since this is pretty much one of the first times I actually annex Orthodox lands for that matter. We are going to be concentrating it because it is a pretty big state, and we're going to be coring the schnapps out of it. Where we're up to 78 overextension. We pretty much got the entirety of the Balkans with a couple exceptions, which we're going to get in a quick war against the Hungarians. And in a couple of years, when the truce is over with the Ottomans, we take whatever is left of the Anatolian part. So for the next years, we're just going to be chilling, and we're going to be improving our economic situation, paying off those loans we got, and more importantly, we're going to be diplo-vassalizing some Italian nations for the memes. There you go. After getting that alliance and the royal marriage, we actually can diplo-vassalize them. Before you go, don't forget to use the links below to get War Thunder and enjoy the massive bonus pack, which includes 100,000 Silver Lions, 7 days premium account, and multiple premium vehicles. I hope you guys enjoyed the first part of the campaign. Don't forget to leave that like so we get the second part out as soon as possible. Also, I want to wish you an amazing new 2025. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.